Happy New Year from the Sleepers Podcast. It is Thursday, January 1st, 2026. Deion and I here to bring in the new year with you. This is our last episode of the week. This is our last form of anything for the week. We will be off Thursday and Friday and back on Monday, as always, with a bang in our full format. Deion, Happy New Year. How are you?
I'm doing good, bro. How are you doing?
I'm great. I've been staring at a bottle of Jack in front of me all morning that I had out last night as I was up late night doing sleepers work at the desk. And it's calling my name because it's New Year's Eve right now. And as soon as this ends, I'm making a cocktail.
I mean, you had to have worked 20 plus hours the last 2 days, right? Because we started super early yesterday, and when I was able to log off, you still had to record Random Point.
Yeah, I told Cart it was our longest day of content ever yesterday. We started at 9 and you and I went all the way to 5 and then we did Braden at 5. And normally Cart and I are done by like 3 at the latest. I don't know what happened. I think we just got super long-winded. And Cart was like, y'all work till 5? He was like very confused on what happened. So, hey, I guess we just went out hard for 2025 and what like resolution for 2026, work less?
Probably less. Probably don't need three different hour long like recaps where we just talk about how much we like Michigan's team.
Do you have any real resolutions?
Um, I so I don't. I'm one of the people that doesn't follow resolutions. Like I like saying I have a million of them and then I don't do anything. I mean, I'd like to win more bets this year. I think that would be huge, or just bet less, one of the two. Um, Probably get in shape.
That's a good one. Yeah, this goes against everything I said on the show yesterday, but so my wife and I have been serious that 2026 is our year of financial, what's the word? Intelligence. Like we're gonna redefine, restructure the way our family works financially in a way that leads to more conservative spending and increased savings. Good alignment. Twinskies. Next up, last night, like I got in bed pretty early with wife because part of my financial conservation move is to go to bed at 9 instead of wait up till 1 in the morning betting on games I don't need to be betting on. So
Smart,
already doing my part. But I got
smart.
in bed with wife at like 9 last night and wife looked at me, and I don't know if this was about me or what, but she basically just hit me with a 2026. Do you want to get hot with me? And I was like, what, like you mean like get real hot? Like we're getting hot. And she was like, yeah, like I think like it's all about reshaping the body. I'm gonna get hot. And I was like, I love that. I'll get hot. So that's the new family move for us. It's financial conservation and wife and I get hot.
It's so expensive to be hot, though.
I know. See, it's not financially conservative to be hot.
It's cheaper to be like ugly and fat a little bit, to be honest with you. That's why I do it because like McDonald's is $10. Like you go to like get like a fancy like salad, it's 60.
Right. You got to buy expensive salads, buy your own groceries,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Although maybe savings on like less alcohol, maybe
That's true.
savings on like less snacks in general, but I don't know. All I don't if my wife looks me in the eyes and says, "Let's get hot." I say, "Okay, how hot?" Like are we talking like model hot? Are we talking like just like handsome dad bod hot? Cuz I think I could pull off handsome dad bod if I just got it together like a little. But I have to get it together a lot if I'm gonna actually become hot, hot.
I mean, I think you could do it either way. I think it's a scary day for us if me, you, and Cart are all like actively in shape because the three of us didn't eat in San Antonio already. Imagine if we were watching our calories.
Right.
That would be insane. Also, JK would hate us because he prefers to let us know that he's the one that like goes to the gym in the morning and
Yeah.
like has his
It,
protein shakes.
it would be a hard wake up call for our younger team members if it was like the 33-year-olds who all got hot. Like JK's like below 30, like he's still dating, like he don't give him credit. He's in the gym, he looks great, but like he works best and operates best when he is the hot one.
Yeah.
But I would like to challenge that,
I
So
do think we should set the tone a little bit that way.
yeah. But me getting hot, like I don't know if for my wife, like first off, let me be abundantly clear. I think my wife is beautiful. As like I'll put her up there with anyone. I am very attracted to my wife. But in her brain, when she says I'm gonna get hot, she basically just means like I'm gonna go to the gym for 45 minutes, 5 days a week. Or maybe I'll like take an Orange Theory class every now and then. Like it doesn't take much for my wife to suddenly feel hot because she already is beautiful and she's in shape as is. For me to get hot, like we might be talking like a trip to Turkey. We might be talking like a whole new wardrobe. We might be talking like a fake tan. So I don't know that my wife knows what comes into that for me to get hot.
It sounds expensive. It might the financial intelligence, like it's tough for you to like be save money and also be hot.
Right. Right. So
Like
do you think should I basically go back to her and be like, listen, you got to pick one? Either I can save money with you or I can get hot with you, but not both.
you guys might need to get hot at different times.
Whoa. Okay. Do I go first or second?
You probably got to go second because yours is going to be like it's going to take longer. Like it's more expensive, right? Like you mentioned a trip to Turkey. Like that's something you got to prep for.
Yeah, that's so true. Can I drive to Turkey? I don't know
I
if I could
do.
do a cross-continent flight.
Cart has promised me this is the only contract negotiation that I've ever done with you guys. Cart has promised me like if we get to the point, he will make sure like I get to go to Turkey.
When has that been discussed?
We did a full episode one day, and I was like, Cart, like, is there any way I could expense a trip to Turkey? And he said, if it gets to that point, we can discuss it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you and I in Turkey on a mission together would be fun, but that's basically what the Barstool guys did.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
it's although all our content ideas are like Barstool Bob does sports. I feel like.
extremely true. So maybe we should be more original in 2026.
Oh, 2026 resolution. This is actually a real one. Um, I want to do more previews and recaps. I feel like I've been
Oh,
lacking on that front to start the season. So there's been some like exterior stuff, like family related, trip related, work related that have played a part into that. But I do like an actual sleepers resolution for me would be like 6 or 7 previews, recaps a week.
that's a fun one. That's a fun one. I think I only have two real sleepers resolutions. Resolution number one, avoid a YouTube ban. Like if I can go a full year without being banned by YouTube this year, that's a huge win. And then resolution number two, make friends with one singular beat writer.
Ooh.
I want one singular team reporter beat writer to say they like us publicly.
What if we just made Riley a beat writer and then we were able to?
See, you already figured out my plan. My evil plan was definitely that Riley becomes like a North Carolina beat writer, and we're already on that's the easy route. But
Yeah,
maybe we should, I don't know, the hard route. I got some targets that I think we could befriend. Most of them are already inherently designed to hate us, but I think there's two guys I could like Lane Kiffin style flit from Ole Miss to LSU.
I feel like I mean, this probably I guess probably incorrect. I don't. I feel like KSR would like us if like if we sat down with KSR. I think they'd really like us.
So I think the thing with KSR I'm realizing, because I mean this truly, I consume KSR content and I love them. No matter how much Jack Pilgrim hates me, I'm always going to genuinely like him. So like that's got to be tough for him to realize. Polachek's like my boy. He probably already counts as like a reporter that we would consider friends. But it's also like we understand contractually for KSR members, including Jacob. I think for the sake of their business, they have to hate us.
Fair.
Like they're supposed to hate us reacting to their content all the time. And if they were telling Kentucky fans like, "Oh, we actually like them," Kentucky fans would be like, "Screw you, KSR." So
It would be very us though And honestly, maybe this is the goal because this would be so like us, where it's just like there's the beat writers openly hate us in public, but then like, yo, we go to Kentucky, we get dinner with like the KSR guys and we grab drinks and like secretly they really like us, but in public we're all okay with them saying they hate us.
Well, that'd be cool. And like the KSR guys did that with Goodman and Doster and the Field of 68 guys, my former colleagues. And yeah, like they I think they genuinely love each other and like made content together when they went to Lexington. So, but I think to me that comes down to the Field of 68 is so much bigger and cooler than us. So like maybe we just got to get bigger and cool enough that it's not good for your business to be like we hate sleepers. Like if we were cool, maybe Brian Newber would be like I kind of like those guys. But instead we're like little gnats that we have no value to him. So it makes sense for him to be like screw those guys, you know?
Do you feel like from your own personal like landscape, right? Because like if I was like your consultant, like this would be the angle I would give you. Do you feel like you're going backwards at all after befriending the preseason National Player of the Year, saying that you want a beat writer as your friend?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was hopeful that hard launching publicly a relationship with Braden Smith would make us valuable to Brian Newbert. That was my hope. That doesn't appear to have proven true. So yeah, it might be something I need therapy over, honestly. It's like all I want is like validation from this man. And instead I'm never if I'm friends with Braden Smith and that doesn't work, nothing will work, you know?
Hypothetically speaking here, and maybe this is something you can't even answer. Like, let's say Braden gets to the league and the league tells him no podcast, right?
Mhm.
Do you think he could orchestrate run and point with Omer Meyer next year? Like, do you think like run and point could just be like whoever Matt Painter's point guard is has a podcast with sleepers?
So, and I might be revealing too much here. My running point plan, like ultimately, this is Braden's pod. I've said that from the jump. Like we are very fortunate enough to platform it, and I've given the backstory on that to anyone who will listen or believe. Like we're platforming it because largely Braden entrusted us with that and asked us to do it, and we're very fortunate with that. Um, it has been like peripherally discussed from all parties of like, this could continue a really long time if we all enjoy it the way we seem to be enjoying it. And, the numbers have been really good. I think Braden, I'll have to talk to him more. I think he feels that we are providing a lot of value there. So the hope would be like I'm not seeking out doing shows with other players. We're doing this because we love Braden and hopefully vice versa. And my hope would be if his NBA career happens that continues into that. But you never know. He might want to just pull back and say, "Hey, I'm going to do this instead," and he has all the freedom in the world to do that. If so, in that event, if we were still like the running point people, um, I did think about like what if just every year the best point guard in college basketball was gifted that.
Yeah, I feel like because like the only, I mean, I'm only a listener, but like you can see Braden's excitement like talking to you guys. Like it's a like when he laughs, that's a genuine laugh. That's not like I'm just like don't doing this because like I'm on camera. Like he genuinely enjoys speaking to you guys, right? So I think the only way it doesn't happen is if like let's say I'm gonna throw the Kings out there because I think it'd be sick if he was out here. Like if the Kings draft him and then Doug Christie was like, no more podcasts. Like only star, like whatever, like only my star players can have a podcast. That's like a second contract thing, hypothetically. I think Braden would want it to live on through somebody else until he's able to take
Till
it
he's
back.
back. Yeah, I could see. And think about that return season in like season
Right.
5 when he's on a second contract. But
Right.
also, I've just realized there's a non-zero chance that you and Braden are roommates if he gets drafted to the Kings.
Uh, so I, so the reason I think it'd be hilarious if he got drafted to the Kings, legitimately, I live in the neighborhood the Kings players live in. Like, like if I don't know that like the rookies do because humble brag like this suburb man like it's not like this isn't just like you the players that live here are the ones that know they're not getting traded. So like De'Aaron Fox, I knew De'Aaron Fox was getting dealt a year early because he put his home on the market and moved to downtown Sac. I was like, okay, he won't be here for very long. But like De'Aaron Fox had a home built on the hill like right above me, like 5 minutes away.
That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, you met Braden yesterday, virtually. So yeah,
Did I kill that? I feel like I did good.
you did good. Yeah, I thought you did good, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I again, my intent. I hope we do Run and Point with Braden Smith for 15 years, and I hope it becomes the number one sports podcast in the world. I also like if Braden called it off and Christian Anderson was playing college basketball next year. Like the amount of DMs we get from the Anderson family right now makes me think we might be able to spin that. So, and if we, but that's just an Anderson specific thing. It's not like we have ties with every good point guard, but like if God forbid the universe worked out where we did 1 year with Braden, then 1 year with National Player of the Year Christian Anderson, then I feel like we could go to anybody in year three and be like, listen, if you want to be the first team All American point guard, you do this show. That's how it works, you know?
I think you guys, what I think is going to be fun to watch play out. You guys, I think, are more well known amongst the high school classes than maybe you guys like. I think realize with some of the videos we do.
That's
So I
true.
think 3 or 4 years from now, I think you legitimately could have the best players in the country like doing it just because the high school classes love sleepers. It's more so the older college guys that I'm not saying dislike, but maybe don't know necessarily.
Yeah, I think you're right. I really do think you're right. And yeah, like Josiah Jervis has exchanged DMs with us. Like Caden Lewis at one point, if he's back in college, is a guy we could probably try to reach out to about something. But also, like, let's give Braden some credit as well. Most of these players, even if we pitch like, what if we did a show with them? You gotta like have real value and substance as a person and a personality. Some of these players are boring interviews and not fun, and Braden makes it really easy. So.
I'll tell you this, there's few players that would do two things Braden did yesterday. One, listen to me list off my 2K stats and pretend to be interested. And then two, drop the A, Clough might get a fifth year because everybody's about to get a fifth year. Like he's so relaxed with you guys.
Yeah.
Like it's very easy to start a podcast. It's not easy to start a podcast with people that you have like chemistry with, a genuine like you can tell like if you guys were in West Lafayette, he'd be like, "Oh, let's go to dinner, or come to the facility, hang out with me." If he, I don't know if he has the space, but if he had the space, he would let you stay at his place, right? Like if he makes the league and gets a mansion and like flew you guys out, he wouldn't get you a hotel. He'd be like, "Hey, take the guest house or take these other rooms," right? That level of chemistry can't be just duplicated. And that's where Braden deserves the most credit. And he's genuinely just an entertaining dude.
He's a really great dude. Yeah, we can only dream, Dion. We can only dream. Should we get to the show? First show of the new year. Do we have a YouTube comment of the day?
I do. And it just went away. Dang it. Okay, one second. I had two. There was one guy, I don't know your username, I apologize, but he told me to look at the side effects of Ozempic. Respectfully, brother, like that was just a joke, for the most part. But I do appreciate it though. We want to make sure everybody's safe. But Grey Guard Silent Assassin said, "You guys better vlog or record your trip to Indy. I'm trying to feel like I'm there with y'all." That's a JK thing. There was never a point where G Card and I didn't want to vlog San Antonio.
Extremely true. Yeah, we in fact kept saying, JK, why aren't you filming this? And JK would just chuckle. Like literally all he did, he would stand in the corner and go, we're just like, no, seriously, film this. And he'd be so I don't know. I don't know what we like. Cart and I literally like walked into a closet at one point. We're like, what we're telling him to do this and he's not. What do we do? Like, I don't think he got it at all. So
No, no. The only form of content that came out from it, which was so funny, by the way, was the argument between JK and Cart that you recorded on my phone.
yeah, extremely true. Yeah, extremely true. Yeah, I have no idea what we do, man. I really don't. Like, that's just JK though. I think we got to just embrace and love JK for who he is, right?
I think Jake, it's been my opinion. I've said it to JK. I've said it to you guys. JK just wants to be on camera. That's why the only vlog content that came out was JK being on camera. So, it might be one
Yeah,
of
but
those.
we've given him chances at being on camera, and I don't feel like he actually enjoys it that much.
I think he's still nervous with it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's still nervous with it. But I think like I do think it's like kind of I mean, you know, every producer like kind of wants it, right? Like at the end of the day, like everybody kind of wants to be in front of the camera. So like maybe the key to getting JK to vlog in Indy this year is like also JK being in the vlogs too.
I like that. But that's also, I think that's what we wanted last year.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
that's true.
like I think we were kind of begging for that and just couldn't get it done. So,
So funny. This is my favorite part of everything we've ever done. Easily the text I got from JK outlining how the following 3 days were going to go in terms of content creation. And he's like, yo, G's got mics. Like, we're going to do street interviews. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And then just like nothing
yeah,
happened.
just did absolutely none of that. So, but hey, here we are. Now we move, right? Like no choice, but now we move. Let's go to the Discord comments. Join the Discord. We would love to hear from you throughout all of 2026. We start today with Passionate, who says, "What the hell is wrong with John Blackwell? I really thought this Blackwell Boyd pairing would be magical. Not sure if both guys need the ball or if there's an injury I don't know about, but what, man?" I think he has been dealing with injury a little bit. He's also been largely like fine. He's averaging 19 a game. I just think he's more of a second option, a great second option than a star on a great team. Boyd needs to start making threes. That's the biggest problem. But those two are averaging 19 a game each. They need help, man. Outside of them and Nolan Winter, they have nothing.
Yeah, I think they just need more help. I think it was just expectations for Wisconsin were a little too high. And I think we'll get to a point where like we're all like kind of okay with how they're playing.
Yeah, that seems really fair to me as well. Okay, next up on the list, we have C. Nitch, who says, "Do you guys think Michigan should be minus odds to make the Final Four or the championship game?"
Yes.
You do.
So Michigan has to win 2 games to make the Final Four. That's the way I look at it. Michigan's already in the Sweet 16.
Really?
Yeah, we've learned no one in outside like the Ken Palm top 20 has a chance. So you're not going to face a Ken Palm top 20 team till the Sweet 16.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree with that or not. I might agree with that. Maybe, maybe. I don't know. I want more data still before I go that far. But March is fluky. I just think Michigan is that much better than everybody else, and that's a real thing. Vinay says y'all are already co-hosts on a podcast with Braden Smith, aka the Big Ten's finest. Who would you enjoy hosting a podcast with from other conferences? Wow, what a topical discussion. Christian Anderson from the Big 12, Akeda Lewis from the Big East, both guys we have had interaction with that I think fit the running point world ecosystem idea. ACC? Any names come to mind for you? I
Caleb Foster, Brotherhood Pod.
feel like it would almost have to be a UNC guy, and we'd have to like let Riley lead. Um, I don't know
Trim.
that there's any realistic outcome with any of the current NC State guys, though. Actually, you know what? Trey Holloman. And we've had interaction with the family.
Was it positive interaction though?
With me, it was.
Yeah.
Most of the interaction was Cart's a dumbass, but with me, it was pretty good.
Who was the guy that got super upset at Card and I last year right before the Final Four?
There was a player,
It was a player's father. I want to say it was somebody on Memphis.
Pop Isaacs.
Yeah, Pop Isaacs, Pop Isaacs.
Yeah, Pop Isaacs doesn't like us.
Yeah, I guess that was on me and Cart.
I
We
can
don't got to
live
get
with
into it.
I can live with that one, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we did anything. Like there's gonna be some moments where people get upset, and I'm be like, yeah, that was probably like wrong. That one, I remember you reading us the DM he sent, and then me thinking like, I don't remember saying any of that.
Yeah, I have no comment on the matter. T. Steffi says, "Hey guys, building off yesterday's comment, what would you like to accomplish for sleepers and in your personal life that would make 2026 a successful year?" You go first.
Personal life, work-life balance for sure. I think like having done this now for like a full calendar year, I think I have an understanding of like the work that like goes into doing this, whether it's the on-camera work or the amount of games we all watch. I all the notes that we take during games, like because you're watching the games from a different perspective. So between that and like my actual job, that's like 50 plus hour work weeks, just probably like finding a little bit more balance to do stuff that like I want to do because like This is very like third world problemy, but watching Purdue games is different if I'm on a recap than if I'm just watching a Purdue game. If I'm on a recap for, Kentucky, I'm watching through a less enjoyable, entertaining lens and a more so like uh would cognitive be the right answer? Cognitive be the right
Yeah,
word?
yeah,
Cognitive lens. So just finding like a more balanced work life, I would say.
1000% makes sense to me. Let's see. Professionally, I don't know how much I should say about this. I teased it on a video the other day, I think. We're in negotiation to do something really cool in March Madness in the first round of the tournament. And I hope it comes to fruition. It's along the lines of, some of the past projects we've done. This is not at the Final Four, not in Indy. I still hope we could independently do something really cool at the Final Four, like do some live show stuff. But part of that's going to depend on if Purdue gets there or not. This would be like first week of the NCAA tournament, two biggest days of the year. Cart and I on site somewhere together. We haven't even told you about it yet. So, yeah, it would be similar to the NBA draft thing where we're like gone for 2 days. We need people to cover, and Cart and I are at a pretty cool spot.
That'd be sick. That'd be
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah. Hoping it comes together. We are very much in the negotiation part of this. It's been like verbally been like, we're doing this. Do you want to host it? And we put our big boy pants on and asked for a number for the first time in our lives. So we're gonna see.
I think I have an idea of what it is, just knowing some of the back end relationship stuff.
Do you?
I think so. I won't say it on
You
here,
can
but I
guess if you want, and people can read my reaction.
Turner, because they have the tournament for the first time this year.
Interesting.
It's something involving Turner. Because I remember when they got the media rights deal, I remember texting you guys, "Hey, this is massive for you too." Like
Hmm. Could be. Interesting.
potential.
Yeah, potentially. Huh. I didn't think about that. Personally, I think I want to be a better dad. That's actually a serious answer. I've been thinking about that in a lot of ways lately, like just elements of who I am as a person and what I spend my time on that doesn't map well with the dad that I want to be. So I've got a little mental list on that. As Murphy's getting older, Banks is getting older. I want to be the best dad I can be. That's the goal personally this year. Bright Star Jones says, "What is your New Year's resolution for the Discord comment section in 2026?" Answer them, all of them. And that'll speak on behalf of my co-host Carter, who loves to skip questions. Our goal is to answer them all this year, and we'll see if we can deliver that. Last one is C. Niche says, "Are you guys always putting Big Ten games on the main screen? For example, would you put a game like Minnesota Northwestern on over a more marquee SEC or Big 12 game? What do you think?"
I do prioritize the Big Ten if I'm being honest, but like I don't necessarily think there's more marquee games on from other conferences typically.
Mm. I wouldn't do what was just said. I got the four screen setup in the basement, and the quote unquote marquee spot or prioritized spot to me is whatever one I put the volume on. And I would not have the volume on a Minnesota Northwestern game ever unless something else was on. Yeah, just go biggest game. Like if Kentucky's got a big Kentucky Alabama this weekend, probably have that. If it's Michigan, Michigan State, Illinois, Purdue, that's usually where my focus is. And outside of that, I'm just looking for the biggest game.
Mensa's playing, by the way.
Didn't know that.
You got duped by whoever told you. Like that's whoever said like that reported he wasn't playing is just an all-time liar.
That's hand up on me. He had no player prop availability. Crazy.
No, that's not on you. That's on that's on everybody else. Like you had the right read. You had the right
Well,
read.
we got a 3 and out immediately, so
Yeah, no,
no
they'll be
sweat
fine.
that ones. We're brought to you by Tinker Coffee, tinkercoffee.com. Promo code Sleepers get 15% off your first order in the Midwest Best. Let's get to the show. Topic one today is something I've been thinking of in the last week or so as we kind of figure out what this new era of college basketball looks like and coaches emerge. There's a lot of guys that haven't won a national title yet that we think will. I think we've had that convo before. Like, where would you draw the line at the list of guys you are confident you would bet will win a title at some point versus won't? We haven't done it in this format, and I think this is an interesting time to do it in this format. I want to come up with our list of the quote unquote next five coaches that we think are most likely to win their first national title in college hoops. Rank them in order of one to five, from most to, I guess, least, but these are all guys we think are likely to win their first national title next. Does that make sense?
So it's guys that haven't won a national title, but they will soon.
Pretty much, in order of how likely we think they are to get one the quickest.
Dusty.
You would put, well, obviously Michigan's number one, but does that make like
Yeah,
Dusty over Shire?
I think you have to right now. I think you have to.
Dusty may one. I mean, I won't
So
fight that too much, but
here's an interesting caveat. Dusty gets his first quicker. I think Shire gets his second quicker than Dusty gets two, though.
me too. I wouldn't fight Shire at one at all. I wouldn't fight Tommy Lloyd at one because I think he's a pretty sustainable format. The other thing is like, we're kind of doing the younger next up guys. Painter, and if Painter doesn't win it this year, it is a little bit of a theoretical reset, but does he belong in the group of five? Like
It's
Kevin
so
Young?
I think it's too much pressure on Paint to get it done this year. That's my fear. And honestly, like I love Purdue. The outlook of next year's team isn't what I thought it was like a few months ago.
So they're gonna kill you for that.
I know.
I
I
know,
know.
because you are doing the fallacy. It's the Purdue fallacy. Every year, it's well, when Edie leaves, it'll fall apart, and then
I
shit, that these two little freshmen, like, just
I,
look up next November and Luke Ertl's averaging 26 a game.
like there is avenues to where my statement was wrong, but a lot of it is just built around like Omer hasn't been what I thought he would be, and I do believe Omer coming into the year was the face of next year's team to me.
Okay, that makes sense to me. I'll go this far and say this: I am advocating to put Painter in this group. If you can give me five coaches that are kind of more in the Dusty Shire mold of like, we think every year for the next 30 years, they're going to have chances at it. If you can give me five of those names we feel good about, then I don't need Painter on this list. But if you can only get to like four, I'm going to insist we put Painter five.
So Shire,
John Dusty May one, John Shire two, non-negotiable.
KY, Tommy Lloyd.
Tommy Lloyd, I think I'm for sure good with. The KY thing's interesting because are we sure he's not back to the league?
I do believe he goes to the league, but everybody's told me he's not though. So that's where like I'm not. Kelvin Sampson's got to be on the list, right? Too.
Samson's old. Like
But that's
there's rumors within a year Samson hands it to his kid the way Bruce Pearl did.
really.
Right.
Can I put Sampson's kid on the list then?
And we put Stephen Pearl and Kellen Sampson on the list? Yeah, sure.
No, I mean honestly, Nate Oates probably.
So I think, do you want to lock in Tommy Lloyd? Do we think Tommy Lloyd like has the golden year at some point?
Yeah, because if it's not at Zona, it's at Kansas or North Carolina. But either way, I think Tommy Lloyd's in this combo forever.
And he's Team USA coach. Like that's, I think Dusty May, John Shire, Tommy Lloyd are probably the three. Then you've got this next group that I need, like, we need to somehow talk ourselves into over a Painter. The next group to me is Nate Oates, Pat Kelsey. I know it's
Mc-
crazy. Mark Pope is probably still in the mix.
McCaslin.
I love McCaslin and Otts
Yeah, yeah.
because McCaslin and Otts are both spitting out top 10 teams consistently right now, and also probably threats to like maybe take a North Carolina job at some point.
I think I'm okay with Paint being top five, by the way, because like I obviously I believe in Purdue this year. If Paint's going to be in top five based upon what this team can do, Otts has to too, because they went to Mackey and put belt. So like it's kind of the same argument for Otts as Paint
It could be this year, and Otts is younger, but it's just, I don't know. Something about like Otts at Iowa State feels less likely to me to win titles, you know?
because he doesn't have Braden Smith.
It is partially that. There's one other, like, if we're going the vet route and we were going to put Painter on this group, are we sure, like, Mark Few?
That's the name. Yeah, that's the name. That's the name I was thinking too.
So to me, I think it's either May, Shire, Lloyd. and then two other young guys, or I think it's May, Shire, Lloyd, Painter, Few. And if
Uh,
we're going young guys, it's probably Oates, Otts.
Oates has to be a threat for the North Carolina Kansas gig too, right?
Depends on who you ask.
Or the state gig, even at some point, I guess, right?
Oates is great, and I think he's going to be a Final Four threat every year he's ever there. I noticed this pattern in one of the videos Cart and I did this morning that I hadn't realized before now. Oates has this thing going on where he alternates every other year a great defense or a terrible defense. Like through 7 years at Alabama, he has 114th best defense, then third, 92nd, then third, 111th, then 28th. Like, if your defense is that bad 50% of the time, I don't think I can talk myself into it.
I can't talk myself into Oates because he's at Bama, and I don't think they're ever going to give him the resources to do it. But if you feel like he has a shot at the North Carolina gig if it opened, I could convince myself Oates has a punter's chance for 2 or 3 years, and then he goes to North Carolina and gets it done like almost immediately.
I think I'm just convincing myself Oates ball is Final Four ceiling. They can make runs because it's really 3 point heavy, but when you get to the elites, the defense isn't good enough and it's too volatile.
Yeah, I'm okay not having Oates on the list.
Okay. So we're gonna go right now we have Mayshire Lloyd. And if we were going young still, it's like Otts, McCasland, or like I said, or Kevin Young. We did not move off Kevin Young too much. I
I
think I'm advocating Painter Few though.
Paint Few makes the most logical sense. I don't know that I believe it, but it makes the most logical sense.
Like I think I'd rather have five more chances at it with Painter or Few than like 15 odds chances at it.
I agree, but I think KY is the one. Give me three KY chances over five Painter Few chances.
Do you want KY on the list?
What if we did Paint and KY? I don't think Few gets it done at Gonzaga.
This year's team is good enough.
Yeah, I had over 99.5 last night, and they went 1 of 6 from the free throw line, ended with 99 points. So this is a little biased.
Okay, so then in that case, Matt Painter 4, Kevin Young 5?
If the argument for Gonzaga is this year, I think BYU is better than Gonzaga.
For whatever reason, KY, I kind of put him in like the Underwood tier for me. Like amazing coach. Don't know that I want to be listing him on like gonna win a national title lists.
It feels weird to think BYU and KY would win a natty. But then at the same time, if I told you AJ DeBonto won 6 straight games averaging 30, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but the bounce is gone next year, and they're not even in on Tyron Stokes. Is Mika Miranin taking them to a title a year from now?
I think, well, aren't they in on Bruce Branch?
Yeah, I don't think he's DeBonsa.
No, no. But I think junior year Rob Wright, sophomore Xavier Stanton, Bruce Branch, you get moved
State
back.
stinks. He won't be there. He's st
I think they got the kid from the G League.
All right, we can put KY. I like KY. I'm looking at like next five to win a national title: May, Shire, Lloyd, Painter, Young.
Can I be honest with you? Only two of them I think are actually going to win.
Who? Dusty and Shire.
Yeah,
Tommy Lloyd will get it done at some point.
at some point. But I think there's going to be names below Tommy Lloyd on the list that win before him somehow. But it makes the most sense to have him three, though, at the same time.
Yeah, we're missing Jake Diebler. Second topic today. I'm excited for this one with you specifically. I want to do a quick NBA draft lottery mock draft here. Because it's you and I think we should do team considerations here as well. That's a way that we haven't done this in recent memory. So I am pulling up Bleacher Report's updated mock draft from yesterday, and we will follow the teams that Jonathan Wasserman uses in the Bleacher Report mock draft. We will alternate picks. You can go first. I'll go second. Up first is the Indiana Pacers with the first overall pick in the 2026 NBA draft.
Can I go first?
You're going first.
Okay, so I'm going first for two reasons. The first, well, I just want to be the one to say that AJ Debonsa is going one. But I want to shout out Young Simba on Twitter at the 2K Messiah. That's my guy. He reposts that one Debonsa highlight tape with the Gunna song where Debonsa just eats alive that Gunna song after every Pacers loss with like a hilarious caption. For him, because of how much entertainment he's provided me this year, I want the Pacers to get AJ.
Okay. Debonsa in Indiana would be really funny to me. They'd be so good immediately if they just get Halliburton back healthy and Debonsa's good.
And they have Pascal. And like by the way, if there was one team that should take Braden Smith,
Yeah,
Running
true.
Point Pod, Braden Smith, special guest, number one pick, AJ Debonta.
Very true. Do we have we talked about the worry here that the Thunder could get the rights to the number one pick?
So Adam Silver is one of the most crooked human beings to ever walk the face of the earth. I don't think there's a shot he lets the Thunder get the number one pick. Also, I've slowly started watching the NBA like the last like since Christmas, really. Honestly, the last 6 days. Kawhi is just averaging 50.
Yeah.
They beat the Lakers and then they just beat everybody by 50. I think the Clippers are gonna wind up ruining that pick.
Yeah, I could see it. Okay. Wizards are up second, and I'm putting my brain inside the Washington Wizards brain. I'm not doing me, I'm doing Wizards. The Washington Wizards, I think, would take Darren Peterson second.
I,
Now, that's not what I would do, but I think the Wizards drafted Alex Sarr. And I think they don't want a second front court guy with Sarr. I think if there is one team that would talk themselves into the guy who's never available in the backcourt, it would be the Washington Wizards. So Darren Peterson second to the Wizards is my pick. You are now on the clock, third for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yikes. Whoa. The Hawks are gonna pick three. Um, this is tough because the easy answer is Cam Boozer, but I gotta be honest with you, man. Again, I've only been watching for like the last 6 days, really. Jalen Johnson is sick. And Jalen Johnson is essentially Cam Boozer. So how do you go Cam Boozer? I think you take Cam Boozer because you have to. If Cam's there at three, you have to take him. What I think really happens here, I think they send Washington a voodoo package to get Darren Peterson. Like I think they send like Trey Young in three for two and Trey Johnson or something like that.
Could happen. All right, so you're going Boozer at three?
Boozer at three.
Boozer at three. All right. That leads me to the Kings at four, and I'll be really sad for this player if he ends up on the Kings. But I think you rush to the podium and take Caleb Wilson fourth, don't you?
Yeah, I have some interesting takes on Caleb Wilson's like transitionary game. Like I
Really?
feel like people like I've been really tough on Cam Boozer and will continue to be. I think I probably need to be a little tougher on Caleb Wilson too.
Interesting. I love Caleb. I don't have any notes on Caleb Wilson. I think he's a monster. You're back on the clock at five. This one is for the Thunder.
Nate Ament. And I think you run to the table to take Nate Ament because he is a high level prospect, right? I think if you're the Thunder, you don't want to take a guy that's going to rush in and right away demand 20 minutes a game because you don't got 20 minutes a game to give anybody at the moment. You want to take a guy that like maybe is in the rotation, maybe spend some time in the G, maybe needs a little bit of time to develop. And then I mean this with all due respect. When Chet Holmgren asks you for 500 million, you tell him, "Hey, Chet, we got Chet on the bench making 10. So like, good luck wherever you want to go next." And I think you use this pick to kind of supplement when you got to get rid of guys in the future.
Interesting. Okay. Amen at five, I think coming into this season would have felt like an absolute steal. So I don't hate that. That doesn't feel all that thundery to me, but
It's
I
kind of
guess
like
maybe.
they took Nikola Topic in the draft like 2 years ago. They kind of they've taken the guys they want to play. Now they kind of take guys that like in hopes of them becoming something. And I think Nate Amen. I said this to Riley on morning after today. I think Nate Amen has the second highest ceiling in this draft.
I could see that. Okay. I could see that. Um, I'm up for the Nets at six. And I do feel like this is kind of where the draft could go in a lot of different directions. There's a lot of players you like, but it's really like the undeniable top four. And then Amen's potential that I feel like is kind of the non-negotiables. Um, I think if I'm the Nets, I'm drafting for potential star power. And I think that's why I would take Michael Brown six to the Nets.
I like that. I like that pick.
Hope that you get your star point guard and it's like Kyrie-esque and you can build around that.
I like that pick a ton.
Charlotte Hornets are up at 7.
Charlotte Hornets at 7.
There's one I feel really confident they would take if this is available.
This is an interesting team because they have their big three now in Brandon Miller, Khan, and LaMelo, whatever that winds up looking like. I think they take Koa Pete.
That was the one. Yep. Yep.
And then I think they finally move on from Miles Bridges.
Well, that's if you are so in on Khan and it's all this like winning intangible shit, Ko is a perfect pair with him.
Yeah. And if Koa's not there, I like Braylon Mullins as like also like same con type of build. And
Yeah.
if for whatever reason things don't work out with LaMelo or Brandon Miller, I think you could go to the con Braylon Mullins
Yeah.
backcourt.
Just keep drafting white shooters and see what happens. So okay. I think the Mavs are up at 8, and the Mavs I think would have killed for Koa. Get them off the Anthony Davis move and pair Cooper Flag's winning shit with Koa Pete's winning shit, defensively be dominant and work with that. So the Mavs are now looking in a weird spot without Koa. I think there's two routes you could go here. You could draft a point guard because I've been watching the Mavs start Cooper Flag at point guard this year. And if you were going to draft a point guard to me, you draft Kingston Flemings, who is in the state of Texas right now, and you rock with that. However, I think there's something different the Mavericks would talk themselves into. I think they would take Yaxel Lendeborg here.
Really?
And I think they would convince themselves the positional interchangeability of Cooper Flag and Yaxel Lendeborg could end up some weird twisted version of Tatum and Brown. You've got these 6'10" point forwards. Like that could be your backcourt. That could be your front court. I've said like the only guy I've ever seen who can do what Yaxel does on the floor right now is Cooper Flag. And Dallas could have both of them in one year. I'm convinced that's what they would do.
Think he fits the timeline?
I don't know.
Because he'll be 24 before he ever plays an NBA game.
You're gonna be old, that's for sure.
It's interesting. Those two would scare me if I was a NBA team, Western Conference team.
I
Those
also
two.
don't think Dallas. I don't think Dallas realizes their timeline isn't now. You know.
Well, if they want to, Kuminga and Moody's salaries do match Anthony Davis.
I'm sure you're prepared for that. All right, the Thunder next.
Darius Acuff. Darius Acuff.
That would scare me.
Darius Acuff. This is, and he's ready to play right now. You can put him next to Shea.
Yeah, that would scare me. That would scare me. Okay, I'll go 10th for the Blazers. I think the Blazers fall in love with this archetype all the time. I'm taking LeBaron Philon,
Ooh,
like volume scoring backcourt guy.
ooh.
And I don't know if it'll work or not, but I think that's what the Blazers would do. You're back on the clock at 11 for the Bucks.
The Bucks have no idea what they're doing. Absolutely no idea what they're doing. I think they're just hoping for the best everywhere they go. Because of that, I think they take Tunde Yesufu. I think this is another guy. Like, if I had to list out my top five ceilings from this class, he's in it. And for that reason, I think the Bucks just need like a hard reset, and he could be like he could not work. He could also be the next Giannis. So
I like it. I see the vision. So I'm on the clock at 12 for the Spurs, and I'm really torn because if you're drafting for fit, I think they just take Braylon Mullins, and it's like we just surround our stars with shooting, and that's fine. The problem is there's a guy that is falling here that I can't believe is still there.
can I guess?
Yeah,
Hans?
no, although I like that too. I think the Spurs at 12, if this is how the draft played out, would take Kingston Flemings.
Ooh,
And I think it would be like, what are you doing? You have Fox and Harper and Castle.
yeah.
But I think they would just be like, yeah, we don't care. This guy's a top five value in the draft, and we'll trade one of these dudes at some point.
Yeah, I think Castle or Fox are out of there at some point. So
Yeah.
Kingston coming.
Flemings, Harper, Castle, and Wemby down the line, and Fox leaves or something. Yeah. Give me Flemings at 12. You're up for the Grizzlies at 13, who I think would be sick. Flemings didn't fall to them.
Another team, no idea. They have no idea what they're doing. I think that this is a spot like you got to take Hans Steinbach. I think at this point, like he's fallen a little too far. Like, and you just take Hans and you hope for the best. Maybe you pair him next to Jaren. Maybe you pair him next to Edie. Who knows? Maybe you play all three together.
Yeah, good pick. All right, then at 12 for the Bulls, I'll take Braylon Mullins. They would definitely convince themselves that he's Con Knipple.
At the Bulls, and there's a lot of NBA teams that don't know what they're doing.
There's a lot of NBA teams that don't know what they're doing. Our third and final topic today, and our last topic before we are off for a New Year's break, is a college football playoff preview. By the time you're listening to this, Miami and Ohio State will be done. We are recording this before that game kicks off, so we'll kind of gloss over that, but quickly, we both think Ohio State wins that game, right?
Honestly, I think Ohio State wins the whole thing.
Yeah. So for now, we're just going to assume the Buckeyes win. And if we look stupid tomorrow, hand up, we're sorry. But let's talk about the other three college football playoff games, starting with the one I'm most excited for here: Alabama, Indiana, Rose Bowl. Rumored bad weather here, but I'm still very excited to see what this happens. I think Alabama's a full touchdown underdog, which I kind of can't believe.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. It's hard to wrap my head around Alabama being 7 points worse than Indiana. Like that, I don't think that adds up, but I also think it's correct. It seems like Indiana's getting their full slate of receivers back. They have the best DBs in the country. Um, Bama struggled, man. Like I don't even think Bama should be in the playoff, but they beat Oklahoma, and if they beat Indiana, they make the rest of us that felt that way look kind of dumb, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think Indiana is the best team in football. It's them or Ohio State, and I don't know who I would bet in a rematch. I hope we get the rematch. I think that would be the best title game. However, just from like a betting perspective, and I've said this on the Bet River show I do this week, I can't believe it's a full touchdown. I would make this like Indiana minus 3.5, and Alabama, like with Kalen DeBoer's status up in the air, everybody thought he was going to leave for Michigan to respond the way they did on the road at Oklahoma, down two scores and like just blitz them.
Yeah.
That showed me a lot. They've still got five stars everywhere. Simpson has been good. I think this number is juiced by the fact that Indiana is the undefeated Big Ten champions, and with all due respect, they are. They've earned it. Ohio State missed a chip shot field goal and failed two fourth down conversions. Like how different is this number if Ohio State just makes that field goal and wins that game?
Yeah.
It's probably 3.5 and not 7. So I think you have to take the points with Alabama, but I do think Indiana will win the game and should win the game.
I do have a little like ticket intel that I can give you from an Indiana perspective because I follow a few Indiana accounts on Twitter. Prices are going for like 1/3 of what they did after the Ohio State game,
Ooh.
which to me screams Bama showed up. That's all that screams to me is like Bama showed up, and now Indiana fans are like, let's just get rid of some tickets here. So I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, I hope I'm wrong because I hope we get like the full home field advantage feel. But it feels like Bama might have showed up for this one. And obviously it's going to be predominantly Indiana. But if it's 80-20, I think that plays into Bama's hand a lot more than what it should be.
Yeah. I mean, I will say this. How many times has Alabama been the underdog? And I understand this is not Nick Saban's Bama. The Signetti's right. The mystique doesn't matter. It's what's on film. But this Alabama team at their best has still been pretty nasty, in my opinion, this year. And I think this Indiana team at their worst has been vulnerable. It like almost lost to Penn State. So we'll see. Give me Indiana, but give me Alabama to cover. What about Oregon, Texas Tech? That game's basically a pick 'em, and I don't know what to make of it.
This one's flipped for me. I can't believe that Bama's a 7 point dog to Indiana team. I can't believe Oregon is only. You said it's down to a pick 'em. I got Oregon at 2.5 last night.
Really?
Yeah, that's not good for me.
No, I don't think it is.
No, but I saw the 2.5 number and I said I can't believe they're only 2.5 point favorites. It's at the Rose Bowl, right?
No, the Rose Bowl was Bama, Indiana. This is the Orange Bowl in Florida.
That's stupid. So so we got Oregon and Alabama traveling cross country when there's two games that I guess they're the underdogs, so whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I love Oregon in this spot. I think Oregon has 5 stars everywhere. Dante Moore to me should be the number one pick, respectfully to Mendoza as well as Ty Simpson. But I think Dante Moore throws the best ball of draft eligible prospects, that is. And I love this Oregon team. I also think Oregon has the second best defense in the country.
So I think there's a non-zero chance Oregon's in the national title game if they win this game. In the pre-college football playoff betting shows I did, I gave out Oregon as my futures pick I liked. Like I think they've seen Indiana before, felt they were in that game and then blew it late.
Mhm.
I think it's win this game. Win this game and you feel like you have a good shot here. The only problem for me, Texas Tech's defense might be way better than we realize.
Yeah.
They were great in the Big 12, and we kind of downplayed it because like BYU is the only good team in the Big 12. But I'm a little convinced Texas Tech might be like way better transfer portal wise than anybody realizes. So this is the game from a viewing perspective. I think I'm most excited for. I'm rooting for Oregon for sure, but I won't be surprised. I think it's a toss up.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to wrap my head around not betting Bama and Oregon for
Yeah.
whatever reason.
Yeah, maybe that's just brand value luster from the past. And then
Yeah.
lastly, we got Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin against Georgia. Ole Miss looked pretty great without Lane Kiffin in the first round. So these teams play in the regular season. Georgia beat them by 8, but that was at Georgia. The spread here is 6.5 on a neutral at the Sugar Bowl. So I'm a little surprised it's only a 1.5 point drop. I mean, I guess that just means Lane Kiffin's not here, but if you beat them by 8 at home, feels like that's a little bit juiced up line.
I love Georgia.
Do
So,
you?
I love Georgia. I think this one's going to be belt with all like Ole Miss had a fun year. I would have loved Georgia if Kiffin was the coach. Like if they had all that continuity. I just don't think Ole Miss has the dogs for this fight. And then you factor in your offensive coordinators, Charlie Wise Jr., actively recruiting for LSU in a portal that opens up 24 hours after this game. Your head coach, I'm assuming, is heavy in the portal because you're going to lose everybody. Like if Kiffin wants somebody from Ole Miss, they're going to LSU, right? So you almost have to prepare to lose a large chunk of this roster. I think of all the teams, Ole Miss is the one team that I think has way too much that could affect concentration, including half of your staff actively recruiting for your SEC rival. And the portal opens the next day. And then, by the way, this is where I completely was out on Ole Miss. They hired the LSU running backs coach to be their associate head coach. So they're just doing stuff to bother Kiffin. That's probably somebody Kiffin didn't even want. So it's like you're gonna get like Kiffin's gonna take all your starters and then you're gonna take the fourth string center and be like, we got you, Lane. Like, no, you didn't. So like I love Georgia in this spot. Love Georgia.
I could be crazy. I think Ole Miss keeps it close. I think Georgia wins, but I don't know. I don't know why. I think Ole Miss keeps it close. I think I just love the quarterback. I love Trinidad.
Someone that probably will be on LSU by Saturday.
I know, but I still love him.
I love Trinidad too, but that's how good he is. It's like if he gets that 5th year eligibility, he's somebody else that's like, yo, Lane, how much money do you got left over?
Yeah, for sure. Can I float something I know you don't want to hear because I know you're a Lane guy?
Does he stink?
Are we sure Lane's even a positive attribute for his teams?
I don't know how good of a coach I think Lane Kiffin is, to be honest with you, because he's failed at a lot of stops. Like Ole Miss is like the first one he didn't fail at.
Like let me give you the best pitch I can on why I think I want to like honestly maybe dark horse Ole Miss all the way here. Give me a Lane Kiffin roster that is pissed off and motivated without Lane Kiffin.
See, my reasoning on being out on Ole Miss was I thought they were pissed off And I think they were. Like, I think the moment the decision was made, they were upset. I think at this point,
I think
Lane
they were
fought.
against Tulane. The question is just, did they get one and now they're happy, or do they want to keep going pissed
Well,
off?
I think it's easier to be pissed off when you're 14 days away from Lane Kiffin giving you seven figures to follow him. When you're 24 hours away from like Lane Kiffin being like, "Hey, if you just enter the portal, I can give you $700,000." How mad could you be at the guy at that point? Like he got an extra $20 million to give to his roster, and he's gonna spend it on you. Like that's like
I think I'm getting spooked by how bloody the Tulane blowout was. But for whatever reason, it might be my biggest flaw. I'm talking myself into Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin, as Lane Kiffin keeps talking himself into more hot yoga classes in the morning. Okay, so I guess let's just take our consensus picks here. So we think it'll be Ohio State versus who would Ohio State get? Ohio State versus Georgia.
yeah.
Indiana versus Oregon.
Hey, how does Ryan Day keep doing this? How did Ryan Day loses the conference, then gets the easier route to the Natty every year?
You think Georgia's easier than Oregon, Texas Tech? I guess Bama in the first round is part of it, but
I think Oregon, or excuse me, Georgia's easier than Indiana. Because
yeah,
if they swap with Oregon, they would have to play Tech and then Indiana. I think I'd rather play Miami than Georgia.
that's fair. That's fair. So you think it's Ohio State cakewalk at
Oh
least
yeah,
to the championship game?
oh yeah. And honestly, I think I like. Damn, the Big Ten's really good. But I think I like Ohio State, Oregon.
That's sort of where my gut is on this is it's Ohio State, Oregon for the title, and it feels similar to Ohio State, Notre Dame last year, where it's like, whoa, how did Oregon get there? They weren't the best team this year. And then Ohio Ryan Day does it again.
I love Julian saying
He's
he is
really
my
good.
favorite player in the conference. Like he was at Bama. I would fire Kalen DeBoer for that alone.
I think he might just be Joe Burrow reincarnated.
That- I'm telling, like, if Michigan called, if I'm an Alabama trustee, they call, yo, we want Kalen. I'd be like, wait, hold on one second. And then my consultant was like, yo, we had Julian saying when we got Kalen, but yeah, you can have him. You can have him. Good luck.
Pretty much. I think that makes sense. All right. So I guess we're both begrudgingly locking in Ohio State as our college football playoff champion. Watch them lose to Miami before this video even comes out. One big thing presented by Tinker Coffee, promo code SLEEPERS, tinkercoffee.com. Get 15% off your first order. It's the first one big thing of 2026. Dion, what do you got?
One big thing, patience. I think this is important for everybody in the new year. We do the resolution stuff, and everybody only gives themselves January to get their resolutions done. Patience. Give yourself your life to get your resolutions done. It doesn't have to, this life isn't a microwave, it's an oven.
Give yourself your life to get your resolutions done is such a bar. I'm so impressed by that. Okay, wow. My one big thing, special thank you to you for the extra days this week, the extra efforts. These were two very long days, and the channel appreciates it. One big thing, I beat around the bush for all of 2025. One of my new resolutions is something I haven't told anybody about yet. I'm
What's that?
winning the fucking national championship this year. I'm doing it, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna do it. There are going to be a lot of banners right there behind me in 2026. That's the show. We'll see you on Monday, everybody. Cheers.